different phase me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still praise me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Or would you still praise me? If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the moment for those who.
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I am your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha, and let me just say, for those of you in the YouTube chat, I love that, I absolutely love that you guys try to guess what shirt I'm wearing on every stream. I love it. I think you guys should continue. I like the game of it. I like the game of it. So, looks like Jonathan got it right. Did he though? Because I thought he said the Chada Mecha shirt. Because there's this one, and then there's the normal blue traditional one. Guelo, thank you for the host, buddy. So I don't know. Did he actually say the Mecha shirt or the Child of Mecha shirt? I don't know. I'll have to go back and review that. Hey, Dust Drive, thank you for the subscribe there on YouTube. Appreciate it, buddy. Welcome to the family too. No, I think it's great that you guys are taking guesses at which shirt I'm wearing. I think that's awesome. Keep up the fun, keep up the games, man, because I think it's awesome. We might have to do something with that. I don't know. He said Mecha. Okay. Well, congratulations, Jonathan, on the first one, actually getting it right. Hey, good job, man. Well done. Like I said, if this kind of continues, I think we might have to do something with that. That seems fun to me. I don't know why. But anyway. So you guys, if you want one of these wonderful black Mecha shirts, man, you go to chowdermecha.com. Hit up the store button at the top. You'll be transported to the store where you can get hats, shirts, bags, the whole 9 yards. So go get you one of these. It's good stuff, right? Now, guys, it's decal time. Yes! Decals are my favorite part, you guys. As you might have seen in the 30-minute out, image, I've already started. And I've got kind of I wanted to knock the big stuff out of the way first, because that's, I always try to do that, when I'm fresh and, ready to go. Oh, cool. Okay, so now, all right, YouTube, you guys got to come up with something better, because the guys on Twitch are now guessing what color socks I'm wearing. Yosef Yanga, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Appreciate that, buddy. Welcome to the family, and thank you for watching. Yeah, YouTube, I think you're going to have to step up your game on this one. I think Twitch has got you. Beat on this one. But for those of you on Twitch wanting to know what color socks I am wearing, well, black with a white Adidas running shoes. So there you go. No flip-flops. Sorry, Dust Drive. I don't do flip-flops. My feet are too no. My feet are like, nah, no flip-flops. Anyway, they just copying ideas, Andrew Young says over there on YouTube. Nice. It's all good though. Love it. So hey, decals. We got decals going. They're looking good. We're going to take a look at those here in just a little bit. Okay? All of the stuff that you're going to see me working with tonight can be found on the Amazon link just below here on Facebook, over here on YouTube, over there on Facebook, and if you're on Twitch, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go to the YouTube show page or something like that. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to get into that here in a little bit. Just a little bit. Patience. Patience is a virtue. But it's kind of a special day for me. Reason being, 2 years ago today, 2 years ago, it was GBWC World Finals 2016. 2 years ago today. So it's coming up, obviously, in the, in the Facebook memories and all that, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, man. It was so much fun, you guys. So, thought we could, do maybe a little bit of reminiscing, if you will, and take a look at some things. Because I know, probably a lot of you might not have even seen these pictures before, but kind of go through similarly what we did with the GBWC World Finals recap, where we looked at kind of the top 3 and looked at the whips and stuff like that. So I've got my whips and stuff like that pulled up for the Hummingbird. So I'm going to take you through that because, man, it was a 4-year process. Things changed a lot over those 4 years. So just kind of go through those real quick and take a look at them. So should be fun. Alright, so with that being said, let's jump over to the screen share. Let's get this loaded up. And let's see. Where'd she go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Hang on, guys. That looks like the one. Yep, here we go. Cool. Alright. Oh, so you guys. The Hummingbird. If somebody would have told me several years ago that this little guy would have taken me to Japan, I would have laughed at him. So, this right here, this is the mock-up that I did, man, probably back in 06 and 07. Originally, it was just going to be a Zeta Plus. And you can see, you know, the color scheme and the decal placement and stuff like that. That's what it was going to be, right? So, this evolved, obviously. So let's run through these here real quick. Oh, man. And you can see how these evolved big time. The bodies stayed the same, but the barrels definitely evolved over time. Oh my God, I remember this. So these were the original arms that were scrapped, and man, when I first started out, I just did this surface gluing, and oh, so ugly. Same thing with the original head. Now, we kept the original V-fin, and the rest of the head went through extensive surgery. Yeah. The torso, same kind of thing. And here's the upper chest. Yeah, that all got scrapped. Wow. Same thing. Here's the back piece. This all got scrapped. This was the original design for the wing. This actually stayed. This was a Freedom 1/100 scale wing, just like a no grade, and chopped it into the Zeta Plus wing just to extend it. Yeah, a lot of this got scrapped. This barrel got scrapped for a new one. Wow. Yeah. This stayed. That looked decent. Yeah, and all this, no, none of this. This shield part right here was scrapped, but I think the rest of it stayed. Because I know I had that vent right there. Yeah, and here it is starting to slowly take shape. We got the custom torso sort of blocked out and mocked up there. And you can see it starting to take shape, reshaping the chest area and all that. The gun was starting to take shape. This is when it was starting to get exciting, you guys. Yeah, there's the clay bazooka that I cut down and made it into its own its own gun. Yeah, this was a fun time. I was just exploring ideas at the time. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And here was kind of the original look for the torso. I mean, we had these gear, or these shocks, and these weird tube thingies here and all that. And those got scrapped. Man, oh man, looking back at this and reminiscing is crazy. All right, cool. So you can see the new arms with the details on the inner forearm, the new scribing, the new upper legs from the Master Grade GM ground type, and you can see the chest already came together, and you can see kind of the first incarnation of the shoulders. And then also the new head, because I swapped it out for a Zeta Plus C1 head that I had. Oh no, just the vents. That ugly surface detail head's still there. But there you can see how I mounted the smart gun. Scratch built this connection piece here out of styrene, and yeah, they just fit together nicely. Yeah. Customized this. The white styrene on here was vacuum formed onto the skirts, and then cut. And then these were double Zeta. I think they was from double Zeta. They might have been from the Zeta or the Zeta 2.0. But man, I got the fuel tanks installed. I got the custom scratch built boosters installed. Yeah, and you can see the inflation needle thruster bells there. And man, this is an exciting time. Oh yeah, the front skirt, and now you can kind of see the torso in this really take shape, starting to become kind of finalized. There's a better shot of the connection piece and the all the stuff that's on the weapon and everything. Man, there's the underside of it. You can see a little bit better of that connector piece. Big Hung Endo, how old are these pics? I uploaded all of these in 2016, but some of these are from like 2012, 2013, especially these early ones. Yeah, there's some of the detail on the smart gun. Just added, you know, some styrene sheet, added a vent from the double Zeta. Yeah. Look at that chest. That upper chest. I'm still super happy with that. That came out so nice. And here we go. Okay, so here is where the head started to kind of come into its own and really start taking the shape of what you guys see in the final piece. You can see the extra detail pieces on the side, the extra scribing. Hopefully, yeah. So the mohawk here is 100% scratch built. I cut the original completely out of off the head, and then scratch built this mohawk to have a little bit of a more aggressive, toned down angle. Man, remembering this stuff is crazy. Yeah, all the scribing work and everything that went into this. The Kotobukiya vent that I had to cut just perfectly to fit into that thing. God, that was a pain in the ass. And I don't know if you guys have saw this. Let's see. Yamin Gria, thank you for the subscribe. Appreciate it. Welcome. And right here, you can see a little hint of this kind of grayish green right here next to the mohawk. That I had to lay in epoxy putty and then press fit the Mohawk in to get just the perfect perfect clearance, the perfect fit for this. Yeah, and the details here on the forearms, those were such a pain, I remember, because I had to layer bit by bit just to build this up. Like, it went all the way around to the front, to this top here, to the top here, and then just wrapped around this, you know, this piece here. Such a pain. But it was worth it. I loved those details on that, even though they're very, very subtle. And there's a better close-up. This is definitely getting into the more finalized look of the upper body. The vents here with the, you know, with the slat, and it's kind of cut in. I always loved that part. Yeah, there's a good shot of the head, the finalized, you know, back collar. Man. Hasaki Art over there on YouTube, he says, Tim, did you use 2 Zeta Plus kits in this? I think it was more like 3 or 4 with all of the mistakes and revisions and stuff over 4 years. Yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4. So yeah, it took a few. But you guys, here's the first incarnation of the base. You can see the acrylic sheet, the black metal standoffs there, and just the big bulky bottom plate there. There it is, all kind of mocked up with plastic and everything. Got the holes drilled for the standoffs. Man, that was fun. Okay, cool. So here are kind of more finalized shots of the in progress here. You can see this is the final incarnation of the weapon that I gave it. This here was like a half round with half round strips glued onto it, kind of as ridges. Just kind of reshaped the whole kind of clay bazooka look into its own unique weapon. And here you can kind of see the details on the hand, more details on the shoulder, the custom scribing all around. Yeah. Okay, so here you can see the ridges right here that I added on the weapon itself. I love kind of the weapon, I guess the pommel of the weapon here. I always loved that look, that kind of sniper rifle-ish look. I just really dig that. And you can also see here that I'm a huge fan of the Kotobukiya fixed posed hands, and this was kind of the first model that I really used them on, and they were just a joy to work with. So guys, if you need fixed pose hands, these Kotobukiya hands, the 1/100 scale ones, they're just absolutely great. Oh yeah, I remember this. Okay, so most people would never see this, but I even added detail on the inside of the forearm, the back of the forearm where the elbow meets. It's just something that I had to do because I knew it was there. You know, when you're building something like this, man, never skimp for these places in here. Like, you know, these little places that just will never be seen, but you know they're going to be there, and you can still appreciate them. So, scribing, plating, the whole 9 yards. I'm not sure how long that took, but yeah, it was needed, you know. And the detail work back here on the back of the back of the arm, the tricep, I guess, if you want to call it. That's all kind of part of it, man. Here's a really good shot of that, those ridges on the gun. Some of the strip work going into the targeting, the metal sights and everything. Oh yeah, and so here, Here's some great shots of the finalized look of the head. I added just a small half millimeter strip right here to the brow underneath of the eyebrow, I guess, and it just gave it kind of a more aggressive look, and I just dig that. There's a finalized shot at the side. You can see the work that went into the neck area. Man, that was a lot of work, and honestly, most people will never see it, but man, it was so rewarding to do. Especially these bits back here. I mean, this is all scratch built, just built up with styrene and everything, and the same thing with these pieces in here. And like I said, most people will never see that. Most people will never get in close enough to the model to ever see this. But I know it's there. And you can see the detail that went into this this neck unit. And, some people would say, man, it's a waste of time. But you know what? I disagree. I disagree. And there's the front. Added 2 shocks right here. To make it look like kind of, actuating the head and everything, filled in with epoxy putty, all that. And then these were the aluminum thrusters that I did. This was the master connector piece, and then I resin cast, 8 of those. So that's what holds the big aluminum thruster bells to the booster units. So this was a milestone, you guys. This was a major milestone. And this, honestly, man, I was really proud of this when I took this shot, because this was the first time that these boosters had been attached to the legs. And this, just getting to this point, was probably at least a good year or two in the making. And you can see the knee horns here. Most guys will use the double Zeta knee horns. I did not. I scratch built these and then resin cast those because I wanted to get a certain look for mine. And I just wanted, the knee horns on mine to be unique and have their own look. So yeah, it was well worth the time. But this was a big shot. This was definitely a big shot getting here. Seeing the legs on it. And then kind of getting the arms and everything like that tacked on. It's starting to look like a hummingbird at that point, You can see the details, the minor details taking shape in the chest area. You can see the scribe work and the plating work here on the torso. Same thing here on kind of the crotch shield, if you will. And yeah, it's definitely starting to take form into what it would become. I was really proud of this little section right here. Cutting into this was not easy since it was on a curve and it was very, very long. So not only did you have to keep it straight this way, you had to keep it even this way too. And to have room for these circular molds, man, that having to do this cutout on both sides, that was a little tricky. That was definitely a little tricky. Andrew Young says, how did you connect the boosters to the thighs? Just with pegs. Scratch built 2 pegs, glued them on, and yeah, never came apart. Nice kind of intimidating progress shot. You can see the details here on the legs. These were a little tough because strapping all over these surfaces, each level, each surface had to be cut, trimmed, and strapped over to get a nice, straight, sharp angle. Yeah, you can see some better detail work here in the knees, taking shape, in the legs and everything like that, in the crotch shield here, all that good stuff. You can see the detail work going into the shield here, or in the wings now as well. Yeah, these were fun times. Finalized weapon. Bailey, great question. Bailey says, how much would you say you tried to reference the hummingbird line art for this? Actually, I referenced it a good amount. Obviously, there are changes from what I did as compared to, you know, the Kotoki line art. But no, I mean, I definitely tried to reference it as much as humanly possible, but I wanted to kind of take my own spin on it. You know, case in point, here are the fuel tanks on the wings. The connectors, I had to make two, one for left, one for right. Had to mirror those basically, and that was not a easy process either. These were a little tough, just because they were so small too. And there's, you know, my favorite right there, inflation needles, man. They're worth their weight in gold, you guys. You know, you can snip this rod and get, you know, nice little connectors like this, nice little metal connectors. You can pound that rod back through the housing and basically get a nice little thruster bell out of it. Man, you guys definitely go pick up some some inflation needles. They're really cheap on Amazon. Check the link. Seriously, they're great. But there's an up-close shot of the resin cast connectors. Those are satisfying. And then, obviously, I embedded polycaps right into the resin, which is not hard. You just got to, you know, plan it and stuff like that. So, but these worked out really well. Oh, yeah, and here's the look at the kind of the finalized torso. This is all scratch built. This is all kind of built up and overlaid to the original torso. Just kind of built this up with styrene sheet bits and bobs and stuff like that. Little vents from the Zeta Plus 2.0 Kotobukiya parts. Cut these ball pegs off of another model, and then basically popped them in there. So yeah, this is basically the final shape. We had a little circular detail there, but I wanted to save that so I could paint it separately. So that's, you know, what that little space is there. Oh yeah, nice finalized shot of the chest. So funny story, I went to scribe this thick line here, and that's about a 0.5 millimeter. It's basically just armor separation. And when I did that, I screwed up on one of these sides, and I forget which side it was. But to hide the screw up, I put these little 0.5 millimeter thick strips over top, and obviously you'd never see it. So that's what you got to do sometimes, you guys. If you screw up something royally, just cover it up with a detail, you know, but make sure it fits, obviously. But yeah, that was kind of a funny anecdote. But yeah, so the finalized look of this, really like these scribe lines. Always liked those. The work on the cockpit, very plain, but you know, nice. The cannons on the boosters. So I liked the original boosters, but the thing was they weren't long enough. So I used these wave fuel tanks, and they actually fit perfectly. They were the same diameter as the original cannons. So I used these, tacked on a Kotobukiya part at the bottom for a connector piece, drilled a hole in that, popped it on there, added a little bit of strip styrene to the back ends and stuff like that, glued the cannon cap on there, and there you go. Nice, much longer cannon for the boosters. Kind of the underside details, just, you know, some strapping and stuff like that. Very simple, very subtle. And there you go, mounted up. Man, they gave great height to that, and I just love the extension off of it because it balanced out the final piece so well. Yeah, nice. And then here's the kind of first mock-up of the wings. And I was so excited to see this because I loved the extension that I got from the 1/100 scale Freedom onto these wings, and then obviously with the nice big wing tanks on there. That just popped out, and it just gave it such a nice look. And you can see the piping that I did. All the detail on the inside of the wings. Guys, seriously, if you have a Zeta Plus of any kind, never neglect this part right here. Especially right here on the trim piece, because that's just a hollow hole. Fill that up, seriously, and work this seam. Fill that seam, make it go away, because that's a nasty looking seam when you look at a Zeta Plus. So never, never, never neglect the wings on your Zeta Plus kit, you guys. And then here's the first mock-up of the shoulder unit. And you can see I scratch built this little kind of support arm. And that's all that's holding the boosters, just that support arm. And what I had to do was resin cast this. You'll see this here probably in a few minutes, but resin cast this support arm. And that's basically holding on to, attached to a peg right here that's embedded into the shoulder. And yeah, that's what it is. That oh, there you go. There's the first shot, the first real shot of all 4 boosters mocked up. You can see the height that I get out of those nice cannons. Man, that was a proud moment, seeing all 4 boosters on at the same time. That was a long, long time coming. Long time coming. But man, seeing all 4 of these mocked up like that, and they're all holding in place and looking good, felt so good. Alright, so I think we're coming up on some finalized shots. This is obviously the torso with the scribing, the notches, all the plastic work and everything done up, layered, different, all sorts of different layers on this. And that's a kind of a big thing, man. When you guys are customizing, don't have everything, or try to avoid having everything on just one level. You know, one level of plastic and just mounting surface details like I did in the beginning of this whip. Have varying surface levels. You know, I mean, right here, you got a level here, you've got a level here, one here, another one down here, and then, you know, you've got to the support structures down here. All sorts of different levels. That's what gives it a really, really, really nice mechanical look, you guys. Is to have varying levels like that. That's big. So if you're getting into scratch building, if you're getting into detailing, remember, switch up your levels. There's the back end, vents, little cross panel there, nice detail work, the scribing and stuff back here. Here's the finalized chest with, man, I still love these vents. Those were just those were fun to work on. All the detail work that went into the chest and everything. The beam smart gun with the connector. Again, this is all scratch built. A couple Kotobukiya pieces in here for detail work and stuff like that, but the rest of it is 100% scratch built. There you can see the side of the smart gun. You know, built up with plating all around, especially in here. Nice kind of ridge points there. Plated work in here, Kotobukiya parts. You know, you've got this kind of external cable, power cable leading up to one of the molded in details here for it. Hasaki Art on YouTube asks where I got Ford boosters from. I originally had the Master Grade XS kit, and then I bought another one kind of secondhand. It was basically a scrap scrapped build, so I got it for like 20 bucks, and luckily for me, both boosters were 100% intact. Needed a little cleanup, but you know, I got it, and it worked. So here you can see kind of the work, the detail work that went into kind of this sensor unit here. You know, some strapping down here, some extension on the back barrels and stuff like that. There's a nice shot of that connector piece. And here's the shield. All right, so this came out, I think, I was really pleased with this shield part. And hopefully you'll see this part in more detail right here, this clear barrel here. And I'll tell you what that is here once we get in a little bit closer. Okay, so here we go. So this clear piece right here, it basically goes through the front part of the opening of the main barrel and all the way back into here. This clear part right here, you guys, and this is kind of where creativity comes into play, and looking at things that may not necessarily seem like they can be used in the models, but actually can. This clear part was a part from a mechanical pencil that I had lying around. I just took it apart and looked at it, and it just happened to fit within this barrel, and it just had the profile, just that it just looked perfect in it. So yeah, so this is from a mechanical pencil, and painted it up, and it looks great. I love the inside look in here because you can see through the cutouts, you can see that barrel extension in there. And man, it gave it such a nice look. And little extension on top here for antenna or sensor or whatever you want to call it. Here are the side details, obviously. Nice thick sheet plating here. And then along the top, these nice kind of ridges and things like that. These half-round strips along the sides. And there's the work on the inside of the shield. You can see all of this was just built up with styrene. Yeah, it's a lot of work went into that. But I was very proud of that. Very proud of that. And the details in the inside of the shield looked pretty nice as well. The the sensor dish and everything, that all came together quite nicely. Here you can see that top ridge and some of the other details in here. There's the front of the sensor, added little strips all the way around. There's the side profile for it. And okay, so here's the shield itself. Obviously, since this is a space unit, it doesn't need landing gear. So that's why I filled in the spaces that were originally for landing gear. That's why I filled these in with epoxy putty. And then, as you can see, just scribed some lines all the way through. Here's the connection point for the smart gun connector. This is another added kind of scratch built detail right here, added to the height of the shield and all that. And there's the finished product. That was fun to build, that weapon. I mean, just this right here is just a project in and of itself. And then here are the wings. You can see that nice piping detail in here and all that. Kind of the back side. Torso unit. And I had to combine this into one piece. Obviously, this is non-transformable, so I just basically connected these with some thick plates of styrene, and then this attaches obviously to pegs in the normal, in the torso region. And you can see all the scribing work, the plating work, all that fun stuff in there, all that fun detail work. And then here's the wing binder, or the binder itself. Cut the end off here and kind of squared it off so I could add, you know, kind of sensors or antennas or what have you. There's kind of the nice profile of it. Added all this detail to the front end. Added all this detail that you're never going to see on the inside of the folded binder here. I know it's there, so I'm happy with it. There's all that good stuff. And then here comes the scratch-built wing boosters. So this was the master, and then these were obviously the copies. And I loved how these came out. And man, these came out just better than I expected. I specifically left the master very, very light on details. And you can see kind of the added styrene, the detail, the Kotobukiya details, extra scribing, all that good stuff in there, because I wanted to be able to kind of do my own thing if I ever had to recast those again. The underside with the scribing and all. Yeah, and there's the boosters. There's the inflation needle boosters, you guys, right there. Perfect example. And look how nice they look. A little offset. Just a nice look. Yeah, look at that. That's a good look. And then here's the torso. There's the little circular detail. That's the incom unit from the XS. And I just split that in half and put those on either side. I thought they looked really, really good. There's the back skirt unit. I really liked how this came out, especially with these red shapes here from the double Zeta. And then the venting work on the inside here. There you can see a better shot of that venting work. Came out nice. The arms. I was really happy with how these came out. You know, especially the undersides here. You know, this was basically, you know, a hard point that I just kind of filled in. But then on the other one, we left that open. And there's the top side. You see the added details on the top of the forearm. Yeah. Finalized gun with the barrels. Looking good. There's the boosters. This is a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch PVC pipe that I capped off with styrene and then added details and stuff like that. And then added this threaded rod. Or no, actually that was a screw that I embedded into this top cap, epoxy puttied it so it would stay in place, and then glued the top cap on. God, I hardly remember what I did with these things. So there you can see the detail on this. This little metal detail right here, this kind of circular threaded detail right here, that is a plastic insert. You can get those on like specialty hardware stores and things. McMaster Car, you guys have heard me talk about them, and you can get so much cool stuff on there. That's what these were, and they worked, you know, as a connector really, really well. There's the resin cast arm support units. Came out clean. Look at that, really nice. Embedded the poly cap into there. And there's the kind of the finalized shoulder unit. You know, I wanted this kind of top mount to look like it's basically strapped down to the original shoulder And I think these strappings here with the bolts that I added later, yeah, I think that pulled off the look pretty good. Here's the top look at the pivot support mount. More shots of the head. Oh, that back head detail right there is so nice. This is the I guess the crotch shield, if you will. So the green little dots here, right? These were surface indentations and surface imperfections. And so what I did was I just drilled, kind of drilled a hole a little deeper into the plastic and then just filled that with green putty. That's Squadron's, basically just their filler putty at that point. Here's the back of that that crotch shield, how it's built up, ready to attach onto the torso. Oh, and here's the legs, the upper legs, anyways. All the plating work and everything that went into that. Here's the back side. And, you know, honestly, most of this is hidden by the back skirt, so you'll probably never see it. But I know it's there. Love the look of the ground unit's legs, the upper legs with the exposed kind of circular detail right here. I really, really like that look. And then the finalized look at the leg boosters here. All the detail and build up and everything that went into this. Man. The inside, I mean, here you can see it. It's just the amount of work, you guys, that went into this thing was, I mean, it was crazy. Just crazy. Like, building all this up, yeah, especially right down in the lower section here. I had to build up a good 6 to 7 millimeters of plastic off of the base, you know, booster to get the thickness of styrene that I wanted here, so I can recess all these little, you know, crispy little details in here, and get this, you know, this nice big vent. And that's the back. Here you can kind of see the inside of the knee unit built up with the secondary knee horn and everything like that. That's actually in the line art for the Hummingbird. Down inside, that probably most will never see. But yeah, it's got detail in there. These are the shoulder units. Little plain here, I added a lot more to these. But you can see the inside here. I really like this whole kind of armored look here. And there it's all knolled out, ready to paint. Yeah, and there you can see the level of thickness that had to be added to the back end of this booster. The back side of this booster was just insane, just to get it up to the level that we needed it to. There you can see the little hexagonal line detail there, the scribing and all that good stuff. Same thing down here, all the crispy little details in there on the inside of the knee. This is the shoulder. This is the upper shoulder booster here. Man, nice strapping. I think this was one of the first incarnations of the strapping that I use right now. And there you can see the more side detail that I added and then some of the things on the surface here. My workbench at the time. Wow. It looks so bare. Here's some more finalized pictures of that. Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, so this was the base starting to come together. The lower mocked up, these the letters were all hand cut out of plastic. The frames for all three of the plates were hand cut out of plastic. Just every single little thing on here was just scratch built. These metal plates I had laser engraved from a company called plaquemakers.com. Man, just phenomenal work. Yeah, I mean, just super nice. And not terribly expensive either. And here's part of the support for the base. This actually is one of the supports for the main support arm. There you go. There's a better shot of that. And that's just extruded aluminum rod, just square, solid aluminum. And there's the upper platform, all the nice little details in that. And there's kind of, you're getting into the finalization of the base. This little, I love the little skull and crossbones, right down here at the front tip of the base. When I saw that in a craft store, I knew I had to add it to the base. Basically, this is a little metal detail for like scrapbooking and stuff, believe it or not. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to build this whole base. All the nice details and everything. There's the main support for the upper support for that aluminum support arm. And you can see how the standoffs tie into the back, the upper back base here. Yeah, all the little chunky details. So nice. This was so much fun, you guys, just building this thing. I didn't want it to end. And when it did end, I was kind of sad, in a way. Like, at the time, I kind of likened it to, I don't know, maybe like postpartum depression that pregnant women have, because they go through the through the experience of pregnancy, and then when they have a baby, that's gone. And I kind of had, I guess, a similar effect. I just loved building this so much that once it was over, I was just like, I was kind of bummed for a couple weeks. There you can see that nice skull and crossbone there with the edge detailing around the base. All the plaques and everything. Yeah, pretty damn nice. This is the lower detail that you'll probably never see because it's covered by the upper base. But hey, you know what? The important thing is I know that it's there. And if you ever squat down to look under the bottom of the base, you'll see it. It's there. It's all there. Reapers. There's the upper base, the detail work and everything that went into there, the scribing, the plating, all that, the little Kotobukiya detail parts and everything too. Yeah. Ah, here we go. Painting this beast was a challenge. I actually had to attach a piece of MDF underneath of this as basically as a handle, and I screwed it into the bottom side of these plastic inserts that I put into the base itself, just to be able to hold it. All the paintwork starting to come together. All the solid colors and everything. Starting to look like a hummingbird. All the masking that was involved with this thing was a nightmare. Yeah. And there's the base with solid colors and everything. No decals yet, but it's getting there. Yeah, the masking of the bottom, the bottom of these boosters were such a nightmare. But it came out real nice. Making a mess with the panel lining fluid. All cleaned up, looking good, glossed, ready to go for decals. This one's getting painted up. And here you go. All right, so you guys, right here, this, if you've ever wondered about true masking hell, this is what the 9th layer of masking hell looks like. This is where Satan himself lives, in this masking hell. This one booster, I think each booster, God, I think it was probably 4 hours of masking each, so I think it was around 8-9 hours of masking all the way around. Yeah. Just crazy, crazy, crazy amounts of work. And so this was the first kind of incarnation. I didn't like these red bits here, so I changed those up. Here, go back. So I changed them up and just brought those down to the gray color scheme. I think they came out much, much better that way. Decals went on in here, and we'll take a look at this here in a minute, but this is how you get a decal over panel lines, you guys. That's how you get the decal over panel lines. Lay it down, let it dry, cut it with a nice sharp blade, and then using decal solvent on it. Just let it melt into those panel lines, and then that's what it looks like. It looks painted on at that point. But hell, that's underneath the smart gum, so you're never going to see it. More's the pity. More decal work on this. Little AE, Anaheim Electronics logos on there. Had to do that. Clearing. Final clear coat. And there she is. There is all the final pieces. Every single one. Knolled out. Ready for final assembly. And then that's what we get. Man, I was so proud of this. So proud when it was done. We'll get into some detail shots here momentarily. Definitely a unit, I'll tell you that. All the metal details and stuff like that came together so nicely on this, I think. All the little details, little decals. It just came together, it just fit, and I was super happy with this. Super proud. Nice shot of the weapon. And I love these little pops of copper. I'll tell you what, you guys. This is all clad copper, and for my money, that's probably my favorite copper. It's just so nice and so smooth, and the pigment in it is just so microscopic that it just goes on like butter. It's such a nice color to work with. Yeah, Hasaki Art over there on YouTube, he says, superb craftsmanship indeed, although I wish you had it a bit leaned forward as a pose. Yeah, there's no leaning this one forward, unfortunately. It's balancing on the support arm, and hopefully I can, yeah, okay, so the support arm goes in between the boosters and up into the bottom of the crotch, so yeah, there's no leaning this forward, unfortunately. This thing is a brick, and it's a balancing act all the way around. So, you know, you have to, unfortunately, you have to weigh the pros and cons with building something like this, something without legs that needs support and all that. So, and then obviously that has these huge booster units being supported just by one little swing arm on the arm. You know, in zero gravity, like this thing is designed for, not a big deal. But in Earth gravity, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah. Yeah, see, there's that decal on the shield. And obviously, like I said, you're never going to see it because it's basically covered up by the smart gun. Yeah, okay, so here you can see that that barrel extension, the from the mechanical pencil, and it's such a nice look with these cutouts and everything. You know, the sensor antenna here, just a nice dark kind of steel color there on the extension. I just really loved that look. Really loved it. Here you can see the bottom here, the threaded inserts as kind of connector pieces. All that crispy, crunchy detail. Look at that stuff. Man. And there you go, guys. 2016 GBWC champion, North America. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Little walk down memory lane, and then just real quick, just here's Japan. Me putting together this beast of a model, and I'll tell you what, there's nothing more nerve-wracking than trying to put together your piece for the GBWC World Finals. It is very very on edge, let's put it that way. And it was hot in there too. That was the worst part. I was sweating my ass off. But you know what? It came together, and yeah. Okay, so real quick, right here, quick shout out. This is Mark Christian from the Philippines. And fun fact, I came in 7th, he came in 6th. He beat me by 1 point. 1 point, you guys. 1 point. And then he went on to win the World Championship in 2017. So, fun fact. And there's Riccardo Forni from Italy. I think he's like a 3 or 4 time Italian champion. Great guy. Love Ricardo. There's Mark. Wonderful gentleman. Oh, and look, there she is. All put together. Ready to go. Balancing. And there it is. It's all closed up. It's in the judge's hands. And there it is. Man. That was fun. Ah, okay. So this was awesome. So this guy right here, this kid was from he was the junior winner from China, and he came around and wanted everybody to sign his T-shirt and everything. And then he gave everybody these cool little gifts, and it just meant the world to me because he said these were tokens of friendship from around the world. And I'll tell you what, man, it got me. It got me good. And it was such a cool little gesture. It was really amazing. It was really amazing. And Yusuke Yokoro, obviously he was the 2016 world champion. That's his piece. The Eternal Bond. Man, what a great, great piece. You can see the swords scattered out in the water down here. All this is wood, all handcrafted. Just it's just a flawless, beautiful piece. And fun fact, all of these flowers, all of them were hand cut and applied to this tree. Every single one was hand cut. I can't even imagine how much time that took. But man, that looks really, really nice and tight. Really good. Big beefy Guxion. All the swords. I don't know how many swords he had in the water. Probably a couple dozen. But yeah, world champion. So, all right, guys. That's been our trip down memory lane. Let's hope you guys enjoyed that. So, just in case you guys forgot what a real GBWC champion looks like. So, there you go. All right, so you guys, let's talk about decals for a minute, or for a little bit. All right, because it's decal time. All right, let's show you real quick what I've got so far. Got my tray O parts here. Get into this. Boom. Camera 2, here we go. All right, so let's get you zoomed in. Let's see where we are with things. That seems dark. Does that seem dark to you guys? Oh, now it's lighting up. That's weird. Anyway, let's work over this way. Yeah. Yeah. Man. All right, so let's start with the shield. This is the first piece that I did over the weekend right here. So you can see the rooster, the Fighting Rooster insignia, you know, the EFSF logo, some other little warning marks and stuff like that. Very traditional looking in terms of what, you know, Fetty shields look like, right? You know, they've always got the EFSF, you know, logo and everything like that. They usually have kind of a little middle part here and then some other details and stuff like that, right? Front of the front of the shoulders here, again, the little Fighting Rooster. This is the 67th Tactical Mobile Suit Squadron, so that's why 67 is there. And then another EFSF little shield logo on the corresponding shoulder, right? Most of these okay, so on Mecha over there on Facebook, he asks those decals from Haikyuu parts. Yeah, most of them are. Most of them are. Some are from other things. The EFSF logos here I printed myself way back in the day. I had those left over. And then these, the Fighting Rooster logos, those are from, why is that box there? That's weird. Go away, box. There we go. Sorry about that, you guys. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, so yeah, so a lot of these decals did come from Haiku. Some of them came from DNL decals, and some of them were from Bandai sheets as well. So like this Anaheim Electronics, this red one that just happened to match the red on the armor. I mean, that was a no-brainer. So yeah, I had to use that. And one of the other bits here, so this guy right here, hopefully, there we go, we can get that in focus. This nice teeny tiny little EFSF logo right there on the front of the, this is the front half of the chest, and I think that particular placement I'm very happy with. You can see the other bits and stuff here that are shaping up really quite nicely. So this tray, this circular tray here, is actually one of the trays from a food dehydrator. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Tim, why the food dehydrator? Great question. So I use the food dehydrator to basically bake on the decals, if you will. It doesn't get up hot enough to affect the plastic in any way, shape, or form, and I use it at a low setting anyway, so it's completely safe. But once I have all the decals set, they'll dry for probably a day or two at least to let all the liquid evaporate and everything. And then I'll pop them into the food dehydrator for probably a good 12 hours, maybe even, an entire day, just to kind of cook off any residual moisture, because moisture with decals is both how they start, but then also how they're messed up. Because if you have any residual decal or any residual fluid under your decals, that's what causes silvering. It's usually not air, it's usually trapped liquid. And then when that liquid evaporates, what's left? Vacuum, and like an air pocket, basically. So that's what causes silvering, you guys. So to dry those out as much as possible, that's the point. That's the biggest thing. So there we go. All right. So with that being said, let's talk about how to do this, okay? Because this is, I don't do it very much differently from most, but I do have certain parts that I do differently. So a couple things that you're going to need: a little basin of water. This is just tap water, nothing crazy. You're going to need another little half cup. This is, I just took a little plastic cup and cut it. Real simple, nothing crazy. So you have your water and you have your other little basin here. Two liquids that you're going to need. One, I like Microset. There's a lot of other, decal sets out there. I just happen to like Microset. Plain and simple. I find it to be less finicky than most of the other ones. So I really like this, plus I can get it real easy here in the States. Its sister product is Microsol. Now, what's the difference? Great. Microset is more like a glue. It does have a softening agent in it, but this is more for adhering the decals to your piece. Microsol, on the other hand, is for softening the decals and letting them really just kind of dig into all of the details and everything. So I hardly ever use Microsol. I will use it on occasion, especially with custom printed decals, because those can be finicky. But usually I go through Microset more than anything. So yeah, these are both by Microscale Industries, Microset and Microsol. If you're putting decals over panel lines, Microsol is going to be the one that you're going to want. That will, much like the decal on the Hummingbird Shield that we showed, how it went across panel lines, applied it with Microset, let that cure, went with a very, very sharp, brand new X-Acto blade, cut very carefully along the panel lines, cut that decal, and then you apply Microsol to where that decal overlays the panel lines, and then it just melts into those panel lines and it looks painted on. Let's see. Scuffle says, Tim, have you noticed a huge difference with using water slides on flat paint versus gloss? I would never in a million years suggest using decals on flat paint. Just because, yeah, like Freddie says, you'll get a lot of silvering. Even if you use Microset, Microsol, whatever, you're still gonna run the risk of having silvering. Now, some guys do it. I don't necessarily agree with the technique personally, simply because it's just a nicer, in my opinion, it's a nicer finished look once you have that nice gloss on, because you have a nice surface, a nice even surface level. You put your decals on, you basically melt those into the surface and everything, and then you do your final flat coat, and then everything just looks, it just looks like it was part of the model. Once you put that flat coat on over top of the decals, they look painted on. So yeah, my 2 cents. Anyways, the other thing that you're going to need, and this comes in handy both for panel line cleaning and for doing up decals. Again, you guys, these little cosmetic wedges, cut them up into little cubes like this, and this is what's going to help remove most of the liquid from the decal, and then also it'll help set them onto the piece. Now, the last couple things that I like to use are just kind of a nice little, this is just like a little lid, just like a little, container lid. I like using this as kind of a tray for the decals and stuff to sit on as they are releasing from the decal paper. And then you're going to need your tweezers, and you're going to need a nice sharp X-Acto blade. And this is all you really need for applying decals. Well, other than the decals themselves, which I have a disturbing abundance of. So, but we'll go through that here in a minute. So, you got your basin of water. You've got your basin for decal set. Dump that right in there. Now, some of you may be familiar with decal set, and some of you may be saying, "Hey Tim, wait, why are you putting it in the basin? I thought you're just supposed to brush that on." Give it time. Give it time. All right, so we've got our 2 little basins up here. We're going to put these up into the corner, right? We're going to put the tray up there. We're going to leave that there, that there. Nice space here for parts. Let's find a part to decal. This is the done bin. So let's see. What shall we do? What shall we do? Let's see. What are we feeling tonight? Something simple to start off with. Let's go with these back flaps here. These are from the back lower leg. These go under the boosters on the back of the leg. So the stock kit, we're working with these parts right here on both sides, right? That's what these parts are. All right, so we need to find a decal or decals that will fulfill our need with this. This is a simple part, so it doesn't need a lot of decals. Really, just kind of like one, realistically. And really, it's just a warning mark to say, hey, don't fucking stand here because you might get your ass burned. Basically. I wish decals actually said that, but they don't. So, we're going to need some sort of, beware of blast, caution, something like that, right? So we've got all 4 of these sheets are high Q in different sheet sizes, different sheet orientations, stuff like that. This was the old school kind of horizontal high Q sheet. I don't think there's anything on here that we can use, so we're going to set those off to the side. This is 1/100 scale RB1, this is 144 scale RB1, and this is 1/100 RB2. And nothing on RB2 that we can use, so we're going to settle on RB1. Now the big question is, what scale? And I think for this, we're going to go 1/100 scale. Yeah. Okay, so, and there's a nice decal on here. Let's see if we can get zoomed in on this so you can see woo, the work going on. And you're not going to be able to see it because of the lack of contrast on the sheet. But there's a nice blast air decal on here that we're going to use. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, so back out all the way. So you can see the process of what I do. Okay, so first things first, we obviously, where is it? Cut the decal out. These are pre-cut, so you don't have to worry about trimming these at all. Okay, so here's the cut decal. We're going to need 2 of them, obviously, for both parts. Now, this is kind of where I differ from some, right? Water, decal set, tray. So you take your decals, you dip them into water, and then you let them sit on the tray. You just let them sit. They've got enough water on here so that they can, so that glue starts to release from the decal paper. Okay. Kira Yet over there on Facebook. What's up, Kira? Our resident mad scientist in training. He says, decal makes me remember yesterday when I was working on my Exia. After I apply the eye decal, one side kept coming off. So I used the cotton bud to press it. Then bad things happened. The green part of the eye decal had wiped off. Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's tough. Bailey says, haha, I was just about to say kudos to him being able to figure out placement without assembling. Then he pulls out the spare Jesta I forgot he had. Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's kind of a good part about having the stock, you know, a second stock kit in front of you. You can see, you can reference back to it and see how parts kind of interplay with one another, right? With the Hummingbird, I didn't have that, and some of the parts I want a little decal happy. So, you know, subtlety is key sometimes. Subtlety is key. Dean, what's going on? He says the decals are pretty much invisible since they're white. Yeah, on that sheet, but once you put them on this red, they pop. Julius Dembski, Tim, is there a key for those decals so you can tell what they say? No. Reason being is high-Q decals are such amazing quality, you can actually read them. Yeah. The print on even the smallest type, you can read. Now, obviously, you're going to need one of these to read it, But yeah, they are that legible, that high quality. It's just, they're amazing. So no, you actually don't need a key because you can actually read the damn things. It's really cool. Really cool. Daft Robo, Shane, what's going on, buddy? He says, I literally just taught the missus to apply water slides. She is doing them now, watching you do it too. Aw, nice. Hey, what's up, Courtney? They're the best, you guys. Mr. and Mrs. Daft Robo. They sent me a tree. Courtney, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Shane, as well. But I've already thanked him, so... Bailey says, I have a set of Maha decals. They are so very good, but the entire bottom part is white, and it looks like nothing is there. Oh, man. Yeah, see... what is it? Haikyuu used to get all of their decals made by an Italian company called Cartograph. And I'm not sure if they still do because they've removed the Cartograph reference off of their sheets, but the quality has not changed. So my thought is that they're probably still produced by Cartograph, but they've just, you know, since they make so many, they've been able to remove the name from it. I don't know. That's a guess. But Cartograph is like off the charts quality. So there you go. Haikyuu's dirty little secret. Oh, nice. Shane says, she said, you're welcome. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's check in with these decals and see if they've had enough time to release yet. It looks like it looks like they're there. They've released off of here. So, what we're going to do, tweezers, you're going to kind of move it off the sheet with your finger. Just grab the corner and pull that off. Now, some guys will take this and kind of just transfer it to the piece. I don't do that. I pick it up with the tweezers. Now here's the crazy part. Decal set. You take your decal, you dip that sumbitch in there, just submerge it completely, wipe off the excess off the side, and now this thing is ready, locked and loaded for placement. Okay, so now it's placed fairly well, but it's still got movement because there's a lot of liquid underneath of it. Okay, so we take our sponge and we just kind of right off to the edge of it, just kind of place that there. That will soak up a lot of that liquid, so now you can start final placement. And it won't go, you know, kind of floating around on you. Okay, that looks good. And the biggest thing for placement, step away from it. Get some distance from it, because then you can see much better if it's centered or in the place that you want it to. If you're right up on it, if you've got the Optivisor on, and if you're just that close to it, everything kind of gets lost in the weeds. The placement, you just can't really see. So back up from it, take some space back, and then look at it. If it looks centered from far away, chances are it's going to be centered up close too. So with that being said, with this placement good, we take our makeup sponge. This is kind of the tricky part. You want to come in straight down onto it and just bang. Let it sit there for a few seconds, right? Peel it off, and there you have a pretty nicely placed decal. And then just kind of easily wipe off any extra drops or any of that. And there we go. Let's get super zoomed in so you can see this really, really tight, okay? Boom. Let's get this really crispy focused. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. All right. So, that's what I'm talking about right there. You can read that. Use caution when operating in this area or in area as, and I'm reading it off the screen. If I had my Optivisor on, I could probably read it, but you can kind of see how that comes out. Dean, I can actually read it. Yeah, exactly. That's how such good quality these decals are, you guys. And Julius, man, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I absolutely love Haiku decals. Is because even those teeny tiny letters, and those are maybe, man, I want to say maybe a 1/4 millimeter in height, maybe less. You can still read them. That's, oh my God, that's like mind blowing. And all their decals are like this. They're such amazing quality, you guys. Dean says, are Haiku decals expensive? They're probably a little bit more expensive than most, but they're not insanely priced. So, let's see. Let's see. I got a unopened sheet right here. Okay, so let's get out of super zoom, you guys, so I can show you what I'm talking about here. Get zoomed out. So this is basically your regular looking Haiku sheet, right? This is 1/100 scale. This is RB02. That's just the model number of this particular sheet. This is at Volks in Japan, 850 yen, about $8 here in the US. And this is a nice kind of big sheet of decals. You're getting a lot of decals, right? Now, let's see. See if I got some 144s here. Yep, here's a 144. This is RB01. Obviously a little bit smaller because of the scale, but you get the same amount of decals, 680 yen, or probably around $6 for this smaller sheet. I like to mix and match both sizes, and I'm telling you what, guys, even the 144s, you can still read the lettering. Like I said, you're going to need an Optivisor, 10x by the way, to read these things, but they are absolutely legible, 100%. I don't know how they do it. Maybe sorcery, black magic, voodoo. I don't know. All of the above. Alchemy. Who knows? But that's what kind of quality. That's what kind of quality you can expect from Haiku. They put this same amazing quality in everything. Everything. Now, for comparison, I want you to, we're going to get zoomed in here too. I want you to look at Bandai's water slide decals, okay? For, you know, a comparison in terms of quality. All right, so these right here, especially, let's see if we can get more zoomed in. Ah, yeah, and we'll let it stop shaking. But you can see at this height, these now are just splotches of color. These are no longer words. These are just representations of words. You can't make those out at all, right? Now, if you compare that to a 144 Haiku, What does that say? Beware hot surface? I don't even know where the camera is on here. Oh, yeah, right here. I think that says beware hot surface. Same thing with that. And same thing with that. And these, let's see. Let's get a ruler in here to show you actual scale. And yeah, so that and the entire height of that decal is about maybe 0.5 millimeter. So you can see that those letters are about 1/4 of a millimeter high, and they're still fucking legible. What? Like, come on. It's just insane how HiQ has been able to pull that off. It's just nuts. So that's why I am 100% a HiQ fanboy. And I am not afraid to admit it either. So, but back to the decals, yeah? So let's show that technique one more time, just for those of you playing at home. All right, so we've got our tray here with our decal. It's completely released. It's sliding all over the place, looking good. Take it off the sheet, dip it in your decal set, 100% submerge it, wipe off the excess on the lip of the container, and then it is 100% ready for placement. Now sometimes you'll get lucky and not have a ton of liquid, and you can just go right to setting it with the sponge, just like I'm about to do. And there we are. Whoosh. Sound effects for the hell of it. But yeah, so that's what it's gonna look like, and that's all you need for these two pieces. That's all we need. It's all the decals we need. It's just a warning for personnel in the area to watch your asses, or you're gonna get chicken McNugget. So yeah. So there we go. Gunpla Nexus over there on YouTube, he says, I know what decals to look for now. Yeah. Oh, and you guys, so you guys that are new to us, if you didn't see, what was it, a couple streams ago? I know it wasn't the last stream. It might have been the stream before. We took a look. Freddie from Those Gundam Guys told us that you can now buy directly from HiQ. Even in the States, you can buy directly from HiQ. HiQparts.com. Bailey, can you throw that in the chat for me, the link for everybody, so they can hook that up? I appreciate that, dude. But yeah, HiQparts.com. They sell metal parts. They sell decals. They sell, I think they're getting into lighting units and stuff like that. Thruster bells, little knickknacks, things and that, all sorts of shit. And the amount of colors that you have available to you in these sheets, and mind you, this is just RB1 and RB2. They have a lot of other sheets. These just happen to be my favorite ones. But the amount of colors that you have, you've got white, you've got dark gray, light gray, you've got red and orange, and you've got blue and now pastel colors that you can get, where like mint and baby blue and pink and violet. You've got metallic colors, silver, gold. You've got holographic decals and stuff like that. I mean, the options right now are limitless. You've got foil colors like foil red, foil blue, I think foil purple, maybe? I don't know. Check the website. But, oh, you guys, limitless limitless possibilities when it comes to your decal options. Now, mind you, for your insignia logos and, you know, your Gundam specific marks, we've got to go back to Bandai. And we've got to go back to their sheets. Or you can get them custom made, but then that might cost you. And you never know quality at that point, right? Or what I did was I picked up this sheet from my local hobby store when it was closing down many months ago. And this is just basically a squadron insignia sheet. And the 67th Tactical Fighter Squadron is a real tactical fighter squadron. These guys are the real deal. I think they're located in California. Not 100% sure, but you know, I was talking with Simon, who's on Gumpa Talk with us, and we were talking about, you know, the Rooster decal, and he just loves the, you know, the naval, you know, old school fighter art, the insignia art and everything. And I said, yeah, you know, thinking about it, since this is a real world tactical fighter squadron, who's to say they wouldn't evolve into tactical mobile suit squadron, right? So that's kind of where the basis of this whole Jesta kind of came from, is you know, that decal sheet and the fact that they could potentially evolve into utilizing mobile suits instead of fighter jets. So I just thought it was kind of cool to kind of loop that whole gravitas aura of you know, having a real tactical fighter squadron logo on there, and I think it worked. I love the look of it. I just love the uniqueness of the logo. It's a fighting rooster with boxing gloves. Like, come on, you know? It's just fun. It's just fun. So, that is the technique that I use, guys. I think the biggest change from what most would do is dipping it in water, putting it on this tray, leaving it there for a little bit. That's, you know, not crazy abnormal, but dipping it in the decal set, 100% submerging your full decal in this and then setting it like that, that does seem to be a little bit different from what most do. I've had a ton of success with this. Another key is to let your decals sit. Don't mess with your decals or your parts for at least a full day, for a full 24 hours. If you can do it, leave them sit for 48. Because that liquid, that leftover liquid that you is just kind of still on there, it needs to evaporate off. That's what's going to get you good adhesion. That's going to get you that painted on look, is if you let it evaporate and let that decal settle into you know, the part and onto the clear coat. That's what's going to get you really, really nice looking decals. Yeah. So, Freddie says, cock. Bailey says, use the proper medical term, Freddie. Yes, fighting cock. Fighting rooster. Come on, man. This is a family show. You assholes. Kids, if you're watching at home, I'm sorry for Freddie. But anyway, all right, so let's do some more, shall we? We're going to put these off onto the tray. And we are not going to... As I drop one of the parts, pardon me. I'm back. As we drop one of the parts, like a goon. So, let's see what's next. Let's do something fun, shall we? Let's do something with a big that needs a big decal. Okay. Let's see. What can we do? I think the Hunchback. Yes, the Hunchback. Let's do that. We're gonna do the Hunchback. Now, we already did kind of the top unit here. Let's get zoomed in a little bit so you guys can see the treatment that we gave on that. And get that focused up here a little bit better. So here you can kind of see the treatment that we gave to that. You know, there's a nice little caution mark just underneath. That's where the parachute will, you know, the parachute lines will be attached to. You turn this around. This can I like this angle. You know, you've got kind of a, I don't know, a parts designation number or something like that on there. You've got these nice little kind of hexagonal decals on top of these cross panels here. Yeah, and you got this nice little beware decal right down here on the connection point. So yeah, so that's basically what we're doing, the look that we're going for with this. So we're going to set that off to the side. We're going to kind of mimic that with the Hunchback. So we're using, you know, we're going to be using white decals on this because that's really going to set it off. Okay. So, let's see here. What? Ooh, don't drop it. What shall we do? What's the number here? 993. Okay, so we are going to get the same parts designator number right down here. We're going to cut that out. Just like that. And we're going to use this on the front because obviously having the same parts designation number just makes sense because it's all one unit, right? Set that off to the side. Now, we're going to need some nice kind of big, whoops, sorry about that. We're going to need some nice big decals right here for this section here. But we don't want them too big because the tanks will be covering a lot of it. So we just want something big enough. Oh shit, it's going to cover most of it. Oh crap. See, you can see that's all about all the real estate we've got to work with, just a little bit there. So we don't have much. So that's going to definitely change up kind of what I had in mind as far as decals for this particular part, unfortunately. So let's see what we've got here. Let's check in with the 144. Let's see. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're just going to put some warning stripes on this. So what Haiku provides here, some nice warning kind of stripes. And we're gonna put those on here just as kind of a, hey, this is kind of a dangerous area, you might not want to be in it sort of feel. That right off the side. Let's check our parts designator here, and it looks like it's not quite ready just yet. Okay, not quite ready. Let's see. Gumpa Nexus asks, any neat tips about how to get them as straight as possible? Panel lines. Yeah, Dymo tape. That's going to be your biggest thing. Dymo tape, and I really, really love this Wave T-square. And Carlo Castro, he contacted me on the back end. He said that Mr. Hobby actually has their own version of the T-square, which I have been starting to see here recently. But now you have options, right? So those are two really great tools to kind of keep things straight. All right, so now we're going to put the parts designation number probably right here out front, okay? And then we're going to swing up here. We're going to put something here, and we're going to put some stuff down here, and probably in the middle there too, just to give proper warning to all parties, right? Okay. So this basically is going to call for 144 style decals here. Now, got this nice little Beware decal here that's going to fit nicely underneath that vent. I'm going to pop that in the water. Pop that on our tray. Let's check. Come on now, get off of there. Let's check our parts designation number here. That's ready. Cool. All right, so let's get that off of the backing paper. Dip that in the decal set 100%. Get the excess off, and now we place. Yeah, that just, man, that looks nice. That white popping off of this hemp color, such a good contrast. All right, so now since this is kind of a longer style decal, you probably won't be able to get the whole thing. So what I like to do is just kind of push down half of the decal first, get that set. Try not to move, twist, or anything like that with your sponge. Pop it off, and then do the same thing to the other side. And there we go. That looks pretty nice, yeah? I like it. I like it. All right, so let's check these caution stripes here. So these should be released. Yep. Oh, almost. Not quite yet, actually. Yep, they are. Okay, cool. And we're just going to put these vertically right here. Just as kind of a call out. See what we're doing here? Get this straight. Placement for decals, guys, is absolutely 100% crucial, because if it's not straight, the human eye will notice that, and you might not say, "Oh, that's not straight," but your brain's going to say something's off, right? So that's kind of the key. So press that down. And there we are. Looking good, looking good. Let's get the other side. What time is it? Woo, it's midnight already. Holy shit. Time flies. We spent a lot of time looking at the hummingbird, though. That was fun, I thought. We don't do that often. And I won't do that often either. But today was the day. 2 years ago today, you know? Can't miss that. That was a fun time. All right. But let's get these decals placed here. Now, the thing is, when you're placing decals on opposite sides, when you're mirroring decal placement, it's really important to switch back and forth and make sure you have symmetry. So looking back and forth, right? So this looks decent. Looks like the height of it can be a little bit better. But I think we got it. All right. Press that in. Looking good. All right. Cool. All right. So last one for the night. This little Beware decal here. Pop that in the decal set. Remove the excess. And now we're going to place this right in between these two details here. Okay. And there we are. Cool. I dig it. I dig it. Flynn! Craig Flynn, everybody. What's going on, Craig? You're catching the tail end, Craig, so you're going to have to rewind, buddy. But that's how I do decals, guys. Really simple. Really simple. Very straightforward. You do have to be a little, a little particular about it, simply because a lot of things can go wrong when you're placing these decals. These decals are not exactly robust, so you can tear them very, very easily. If you get placement wrong and you press them down and the placement is off, how do you get that off of there? Well, all you got to do, brush on some decal set on top of the decal. Let it sit for a few minutes. That will start to release again from the part. And then you can either kind of wipe it off with your thumb, or if you're brave, you can get your tweezers out and you can try to reposition or peel it off or all that. So, yeah. Scupple says, honestly, getting them perfectly straight is great, but if it's slightly crooked, that can be seen as good too, since real life doesn't have perfect symmetry most of the time anyways. Fair point. Fair point. I've never seen warning markings on like a military piece of equipment kind of being skewed or anything. So, having them nice and level and symmetrical and stuff like that, for me, for my tastes, that's probably more realistic for me. But you know what? To each their own. I can definitely see an argument for, crooked, off-place decals, especially in, like very, weathered, damaged diorama sort of, settings. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, there. Silver. Yes. Ricardo, thank you. For those of you guys who don't know, Silver Maverick, Ricardo, go follow him on Facebook and stuff. Ricardo's in the military, so he knows his shit. So, yeah, he says, nah, they measure the hell out of him. Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate the assist there, brother. So, yeah. But to each their own. You know what? I'm not going to tell you my way is the way. I'm just giving you a way. That's all. That's all I'll ever do. So, but Max Ortiz over here on YouTube, he says, all right, so I'm in a bit of a bind. He says, I painted up a perfect grade strike and went a little overboard with the decals. They're top coated and everything. Best way to go about removing them without fucking up the paint. I'm sorry, Max, but you're just out of luck, brother. Because if they're top coated, they're basically sealed in. The only way to get that top coat off without ruining everything else is to strip it. But then you're going to take the paint along with it. So unless you want to completely repaint the thing or repaint those parts that you're unhappy with, there's not much you can do, man. I'm sorry. It's just, yeah, nature of the beast, unfortunately. Sorry, brother. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. If it wasn't top coated, that'd be a different story. But since it is, that's locking them in, unfortunately. Sorry. Ultraman Dino, I'm digging the decal process, Tim. Thank you, brother. Silver Mav, Ricardo says, I've watched a dude spend an hour masking tail numbers. I believe it. I believe it. The military doesn't joke around with that shit, dude. Military does not joke around with that stuff. Ultraman Dino, it is definitely not the way I was doing it. He says, I'm going to take your suggestions and try them out. Cool. Max Ortiz, worth a shot. Those parts were cut up and separated, so it's not on anything big. Yeah, I mean, if they're little parts, or if it's only a few parts, then I don't know. It might be worth it to strip them down and just redo them again. But I mean, that's up to you. That's up to you. I mean, but you're talking to a guy that completely refurbished a model that he had completed, you know. So for me, it wouldn't be a thing. But you know, for some people, that may not necessarily be something that you want to invest time in. You may just want to build something new. Pros and cons, brother. Pros and cons. Nash Hannah, anything special planned for the last stream of the year? Not really. Not really. I mean, do you guys want to do maybe a Q&A for the last stream of the year? What do you guys think? Just an idea. Even though we Q&A all the damn time anyway. But having a full show of Q&A might be fun. What do you guys think? I don't know. Let me know. Bailey says, again, that's all contemporary military regulations. Yeah, big time. Big time. Max Trees, yeah, fuck it, LOL. Thanks, man. No problem, Max. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we do a Q&A. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Maybe we do decals a little bit, and then we do Q&A for a little bit, and we just kind of talk and just hang out or whatever. Who knows? But yeah, so you guys, Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, last stream of the year, I'm going to take probably, like a couple weeks off, and we'll be back on January 2nd. That's the first Wednesday of the year. And yeah, Hasaki Art giveaways. Get out of here. Giveaways. Freddie Torres says, "A the fuck out of those cues." Thanks, Freddie. Appreciate that, brother. Bailey says they weren't trying to get markings perfect on the old Shermans when they were trying to pump them out. Yeah, no, that's true. When they were, and back in World War II, man, that's for sure. They were just like, fuck it, whatever. Get it to the battlefield. Get it to England or whatever. He said, Bailey says parts were going to get replaced if they survived at all. Yeah, that's true as well. You would think that, with the technological advancement that we see with mobile suits and stuff, you would think that they would have like automated systems, maybe robots doing this or something like that. So you would imagine, maybe, that the warning marks and placements of unit insignias and numbers and stuff like that, would be automated and thus very accurate. But I don't know. I've never seen that in anime before, so who knows? Ricky Paul Carlson, let's talk dirty to Alexa, maybe not. That's funny. Oh man, the Dwidget. Therno Hobbies and Games over there on Facebook for you guys playing at home. Yeah, most of the marketing were placed on by the Tank Crews. Oh, marking, not marketing. I read that wrong. Sorry. Yeah, they didn't care. Some of those were just kind of, normal guys just doing their thing. So, fun. All right, so Wednesday, you guys, last stream of the year. We're gonna have some fun. So we'll see, right? We'll see what we do. Chances are we'll kind of do some, we'll do some decals, we'll do some Q&A. Just have fun with it, right? And then it'll be a nice, relaxing holiday break. And then we'll come back in the new year. Hopefully by then, by January 2nd, the Jesta will be done and completed. I have a good feeling about that. Because, let's see. The dun bin, that's all that's left in the dun bin for decals, you guys, and that's gonna go pretty quickly. So it definitely should be, well, I shouldn't say definitely. Hopefully should be done by then. So yeah. We'll see, right? We'll see. So. JH, I'm new. Love the stream. Watched a few of your past ones with Zach. Awesome. Thank you, man. Gunpla Talk is a lot of fun. And we do that on a monthly basis. We do this, kind of my solo project. I don't know. We do this every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So, yeah, man. Tune in. Keep coming back, JH. It's a good time. We have fun. So, thanks for watching, though. Scuffle says, none. Iron-Blooded Orphans, the dude was painting his suit with a friggin' mop and a bucket of paint. That's a fair point. Maybe a unique situation? I don't know. Dwidget says, no, not really, Tim. There's actually a scene in Bandit Flower where the crew's paint insignias. Yeah, so Iron-Blooded Orphans. Again, maybe a unique thing. I don't know. R for Andrew 2. Honestly, I want to build models of some of the gun trucks used in Vietnam. Interesting. Soravan Zero, hopefully over there on Twitch. Thank you for holding it down for us, Soravan, as always. Hopefully by then my build will be done. I hope so too, and hopefully we can get you sorted out with your camera too, brother. Message me on the back end, and we'll get you sorted out. I'll help you out. Don't worry about it. RF Aurora, I know what we can do on Wednesday. Talk about Tim's GBWC entry for next year. No. You know what? Hey, I might give you you guys a small Christmas present. I might give you a tidbit of information, but nothing crazy, okay? Simply because, like I said, I want that to be a surprise. I want that to be as exciting for you guys as it is for me, right? So, can't wait. I can't wait. So, yeah, so hopefully by January 2nd, we'll see. Depends on stock availability of what I'm waiting on. Hopefully that will come in and all that. So, yeah. Let's see. Dwidget. Oh, no. Gundam Thunderbolt. Bandit Flower. Sorry. I saw Flower, and I'm thinking Iron Flower, Iron-Blooded Orphans, all that. So, my bad. Hasaki Artim. So you were saying those two kits for your GBWC will be those two Sazabis behind you, right? No, actually, I didn't say that. But nice try. Nice try. Nash Hannah. I'm already excited. It's going to be fun. Ricardo. He says it's going to be a surprise when I take you down. The future is now, old man. I love it. Thank you, Ricardo. Appreciate that, brother. Ricardo's my boy, you guys. He's great. Bailey says, now shots fired. LOL. Scuffle. LOL. Hazaki. LOL everybody. Right? Nah. Ricardo, this time next year, I'm going to see you in Japan. Hopefully. Right? So, hey, Corey DeYonker. What's going on, Corey? He says, do you have any tips for coming up with entry ideas? Oh, man. Man. Okay. So, no lie, this may sound weird, but when you're sitting on the toilet, just think about your ideas. I swear to God, you guys, thinking on the toilet and getting ideas for inspiration is like the perfect place, because you're there, you're alone, solitude, you know, you're not really focusing, it's just more nature at that point. You have time to really think and get deep on conceptualization. Yeah. Some of my best ideas came from when I was taking a dumper. I'm just being real with you. I'm being totally honest. But otherwise, Corey, brother, what I would say is this. I know that, you know, I know you're an art guy. You know, you make amazing art. If you guys don't follow Corey, Links 53, I think is the number. I could be wrong. But Corey did a panel at SCGMC as well on color theory and stuff. So he knows his art, okay? So artstation.com. I've talked about this plenty of times in the past. It's where the really, really heavy hitters in concept art go to post their work. Man, get on there if you're not aware of it already, which I would assume that you are. But dude, get on there and just spend hours looking at concept work. You will get so much inspiration from it. It's just crazy. Yeah, Links 53 Designs. Freddie, thank you, on Instagram. Yeah, Corey's good, you guys. But I actually got the inspiration for the Ozzy from one of the artists that I follow on there. Man, it's chocked full of amazing artwork, all sorts of crazy scenes and designs and ideas and all of that stuff. I highly recommend going there if you're you know, in need of ideas. And man, that's a great place to, you know, to get ideas off of. So let's see. Scuffle says, what scale will your build be? I mean, I don't think that's any surprise. 1/100. You know, that's not giving away the farm. Let's see. Yeah, Freddie. I saw that. That's funny, right? Oh, cool. Ricardo says, I'll be in Jersey to block your path to Japan. Nice. Come on, man. Come on. Let's see. Corey says, your last vid with the GBWC finalists lit a fire under my butt and now racking my brain. Nice. Yeah, dude. You know, look at past GBWC entries. Look at modelers that, you know, you admire, stuff like that. You know, gain insight. You know, try to gain insight from their thought process a little bit. You know, when and you being an artist, man, you know, when inspiration hits you, it comes on like a lightning bolt. And it's not necessarily something that you can force either. It just happens, right? You know, maybe think of an idea or a theme or something like that, and then kind of start conceptualizing from there. Build off of that theme, right? Like my entry is based on a theme. I'm not going to tell you guys, no matter how much you ask, what theme that is. So, don't ask. Viper, there he is. He says, a fellow toilet thinker. Yeah, dude, I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. It's just one of those things. That's where the lightning strikes happen the most. Yeah. And then Dwidget says, yeah, right next to the shower, right next to shower thoughts. Yeah. I mean, when you have complete and total solitude, when you have when you're doing like a mundane task that you do every single fucking day, that you don't even have to actually think about doing it, your brain can wander. So tasks, activities like that are the perfect incubator for amazing ideas. Let your brain wander, you know? After that, it's gravy. Let's see. Scuffle says, I came up with the idea for my build from watching Voltron and randomly Super Samurais, Pizza Cats, and Gundam Naya. I mean, weirder things have happened. I can't fault that. Ultraman Dine. All right, guys, be back on Wednesday. Good night. Hey, good night, Ultraman. Corey DeYonker. Oh, geez. Well, thanks for the shout out. You're welcome, brother. Let's see. He says, sweet, I totally forgot about ArtStation for years now. Dude, it's so big now. It's crazy. I mean, they've got subcategories for mechs. They've got subcategories for weapons. They've got subcategories for, you know, real life artwork. They've got subcategories for 3D artwork. You name it, they've got it. And it's just crazy. JH, yeah, Gunpla on Pinterest is an excellent place to look for inspiration as well. Yeah, you can get lost in Pinterest really easy, and just there goes your day, basically. So that's a great suggestion. Nash Hannah, sometimes twice a day. There you go. Ricky Paul Carlson, pooping dem ideas. Yes, literally pooping dem ideas. Carlo Castro, all right, everyone, good night. I think that's a good segue, right? So, you guys, 12/22, thank you for watching. We got our last show of the year on Wednesday. I hope you guys are coming through for that, coming by, talking, all that good stuff, asking questions. Alareth, thank you for the follow over there on Twitch. Welcome to the family, and thank you for watching. But yeah, you guys, man, come back for the last show, and we're gonna kick this year in the ass, okay? And then we come back January 2nd, and we're gonna start to kick that year in the ass. You better believe it. So, you guys, real quick, if you want any of these tools, the decal, micro saw, micro set, the tweezers, the decal, well, not the decals, but pretty much everything else, you can find the link right down here to the Amazon page, on YouTube, over there. If you're on Facebook, sorry, Twitch, but you're going to have to tune in on one of the other ones to get that link. You can find all that stuff in there. We got gear for streaming. We've got books for inspiration. All the tools, materials that we use here are available on there as well. If you want to pick up one of these hot-ass Mecha blackout shirts, you can do so on ChildofMecha.com. Hit the shop button up at the top. You can find t-shirts, hats, and bags, and some other cool stuff on there. Go get you some. Makes a nice holiday present, even though if you order right now, you're probably not going to get it in time for Christmas. But hey, you're going to get Christmas money, right? There you go. So, with that being said, guys, have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Have a wonderful Tuesday. We're going to see you back here for the last stream of the year on Wednesday. All right, be safe, have fun, build something cool. See you guys then. Bye.